All right, once again, guys, we're going to give everybody a minute here to jump on. If you guys are watching this after it's live, I typically wait a few minutes before I start talking because I want to make sure everybody's got time to jump on, so we're going to give that a minute. All right, what's up, guys? Yeah, game over. What a game. Good game, good game. Umass. If you guys get an opportunity after the game, y'all need to walk around. Y'all need to walk around the field there and pick up what's left of y'all's team because there ain't much left. What that was absolute destruction. I don't know that Isabella is good so much as that we kept letting him just kind of get open. I think the guys in the secondary were kind of on cruise control. Didn't really appear to be a whole lot to worry about in that game. So yeah, it was just a killing. 66 points. That's the most points Georgia scored on a team, and I'll have to look at the stats, but it's probably been 5 or 6 years since we've scored 66 points on a team. Had an opportunity to score some more. Our third or fourth string was easily. I mean, if we would have left the thanks GMCK back. My wife makes beautiful kids. There's no doubt about that. Ooh, that smells nice. Yes. Here's my buddy. What's up, buddy? Yeah. That smells good too.
I didn't get a Christmas tree one because I know you don't like it.
All right, take him on. Take him out. Man, you holding as much as UMass was. Good Lord. There was a lot of penalties that should have been called that didn't get called. We have a son who's 15. We have a daughter who's 12, and we have the little guy who's just turned 10 months. So that's our crew. Oh yeah. Hey, you guys will love this. So me and my wife, we like to go to garage sales. It's kind of a fun little thing we do. And we always do Elf on his Shelf. And we found this guy today. So we brought him home. So as you guys can see, we have a Georgia Elf on the Shelf. If you don't have a Georgia Elf on the Shelf, you can just step your game up. Because this is awesome. There you go. Thanks, honey. But yeah, my son's a sophomore, yes. So in this game, we got to the point where taking out second string, third string, I think we were actually getting down into the dregs of what our lineup was, and I was still kind of excited. I saw a lot of talent that deep in the depth. Hey Brian, what's up, buddy? I hadn't seen you. I didn't see you when I first jumped on. If I missed one of your messages, I apologize. My eyes went itching all of a sudden for some reason, so if you guys see me, I'm not sleepy. I'm rubbing my eyes because they itch. So that game feels really good. Love to see the amount of play time he got. Also like to see our third string guy get in there and get some practice in. That's good for him. Really excited to see D-Rob in the game. If you guys didn't know, D-Rob was in there, had an opportunity to catch a pass. The fact that he didn't catch that pass, I blame on the coaching staff because he hadn't played enough. So y'all can yell at me if you want to, but yeah. Ohio State, your season is over 52-51. Oh, Lord. Terrible. That's just absolutely unacceptable and terrible. So anyway, 66-27. I think 2 of those touchdowns were scored after we put in the fans. I think we had a few fans that come on and put referees on. What you got for that Michigan game? Anybody know what's going on in the Michigan game? I didn't check before I jumped on. I just went in and jumped on. Anybody know?
Not Michigan, Kate. That's Michigan State.
That was horrible, and Urban was acting like his head was hurting. Well, of course his head's hurting. He has to coach Ohio State. Of course his head's hurting. Your head would hurt too if you had to coach that team. But anytime you can hang 60+ points on the board, get out of the game with no injuries, yeah, that's a good game. Godwin is a good win, but we shouldn't have given up 27. Kelsey, if we'd have been playing them with our starters, I highly doubt we would have even given up more than the 10 or 13 points. I just think that was a side effect of having a lot of new guys in, letting them cycle in, letting them play. Georgia took some shots down the field. It was nice to see. How did the starters look? The starters looked outstanding. When we first come out there, I think their first 2 or 3 possessions were 3 and outs. Just so you guys know, Georgia went 109 yards, and they were still at 109 yards rushing when UMass was still at -1 yards rushing. That's a huge stat. I mean, if you can't even let them move the ball 1 yard, as a matter of fact, make them go -1 yard, that's impressive. So to just put 100+ yards on the board and have them at a negative says lots about Georgia's running game. I did see that Chaney made some adjustments down on the goal line. We seem to be able to get the ball in. I like that we're mixing the teams up. Yeah, I hope Alabama plays like they did. Well, at least in the first half, right? But I like the fact that we were really spreading the ball around. We were giving other guys some opportunities to get in the game and get some experience, which is great. But, I mean, it was an absolute drubbing. I mean, 66 points, that's just – it doesn't matter how many points they scored. They only scored – because I think we had our 3rd and 4th string in somewhere in the middle of the first quarter. It was a good game. The best thing about that game is we got out of that game without any injuries. So yeah, Tennessee kind of fell apart. I was really hoping that those guys were gonna walk all over Missouri just so for the morale of that team. But Tennessee's starting to come along a little slower than probably what they would like, but they're starting to get there. They're actually able to put points on the board a little better than they were. They had some self-inflicted injuries. Missouri's a good team. I mean, they really are. When we played them, we made them look not as good as they are, but they're a really good team. Missouri, they won the SEC a while. Was it 3 or 4 or 5 years ago? I don't know what it was, but they always have a high-powered offense. Michigan up 28-17. Going to watch Cincinnati play tomorrow wearing my Georgia gear. That's right, Brian. That's right. Go watch them with the Dogs colors on. Again, I've been messing around on my phone. I got like 5% left. So I don't have a whole lot for you guys today other than, we just killed them. Next week's going to be good. Next week's going to be real good. We play Georgia Tech. I don't have any reason to believe we won't beat them. And by the way, just so you guys know, it doesn't matter whether we win that game or not because we still got to play in the SEC championship. Yeah, I get 2-loss team. But if you beat Bama, they're going to have to put us in. There's no way they can't. So I don't believe we're going to have a problem beating them. Justin Fields is absolutely phenomenal. He looked really good tonight. And just so you know, Jake Fields, good Lord, losing my mind. Jake Fromm and Justin Fields' numbers were very comparable. But I feel like the guys were really physical tonight. There was one time where, if you watched, when Georgia got to the quarterback, they picked him up off the ground. He was parallel to the ground about 6 feet. I would not want to be that quarterback. He was running for his life. Fields, from the highlight, Fields looked amazing. Yeah, he did. One thing I was really concerned about was I thought Justin Fields had to run a little more than what I would have liked. I wasn't paying attention if we had changed out to different offensive linemen. But, man, there was a couple of plays there where he got sacked, and I'm like, he just didn't have enough. He didn't have enough protection from a team like UMass. That was a little concerning. Hit the B button on that dude. Yeah, he spun around that guy like he was a top, man. Just whoop, and went right around that guy, which I really like seeing that. Saw some really exciting football tonight. Georgia was scoring every time they would blink. I think until we got late in the fourth quarter, we scored every time we had a possession. If you take that Terry Godwin mistake where we fumbled the ball on the punt, that takes 7 points off the board. You take the we had a couple of opportunities there. We could have got interceptions. We did get one, but we could have got more than one anyway. What do you think we have to do what do you think we have to improve to beat Bama? There's 2 things.
Well, discuss what Sonny Michelle and Nick Chubb said tonight.
What did they say?
They said they're going to beat Bama.
Y'all heard it?
Nick Chubb and Sonny Michelle.
Yeah. Well, no injuries to note, Brian, not that I noticed. One of our players got look like a broken hand, but he doesn't really. He's not really a big factor for us on defense. He's good, but he's not. We have a guy that can fill that spot pretty easily. Nick Chubb and Sonny Michelle said that they think that this year's Georgia team can beat Alabama. That's a tall order, considering that Tua is setting school records. I think one of them is the most touchdowns in a game, most touchdowns in a season. 31 is there, plus a bunch of other stuff. So he's coming along nice.
Yeah,
Tyson.
Tua and Jalen are injured.
No, both of them played tonight, and they both looked pretty good. So they did. They both looked pretty good. So
Up forever, Brett.
I know. Can't keep shooting them from the B12 and cortisone and expect them to play good forever, but we'll see what happens. They only got to get to the end of the year. They play Auburn next week. I mean, I expect that to be a very physical game for them. We play Georgia Tech next week. I expect that to be a very physical game for us. But to answer your question about what does Georgia need to do? Georgia needs to be able to run the ball. If we cannot run the ball, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be real tough. Tua can throw, so I think our best chance at beating them is to get pressure on Tua, which we have not done a good job of getting in the backfield on really anybody this year. And we've got to keep the receivers covered up. We've got to force Tua to beat us with his feet. They've got a couple of good running backs, but I'm more confident in Georgia stopping their running game from scoring than I am us stopping Tua's arm. Auburn Kittens are going down another $49 million after this. You know that they've already started a GoFundMe account or something for the boosters to raise money to get rid of him. I hope they keep Gus Miles on for the rest of my life. That guy's terrible. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little technical difficulty, but you can relax now. We're good. So, not gonna make this a long video. George did a real good job tonight. We put a lot of points on the board. No reason why we can't beat Tech and get ready for Bama and go out and win that game solidly. So hopefully we'll be able to get prepared and make a good game out of that. And if we can beat them, we'll win a national championship. So thanks, guys. Have a good night. And as always, God bless and go Dogs.